YOLO, my fellow human beings, and welcome to episode 22 of The Best Blessed Life. I'm your best host, Kristen, and today's topic is... It's not over there. The reason for that is I am not feeling it today. I don't know how else to explain it. I filmed a whole... It is Friday. Just to give you context, it is Friday, and I put out a new episode every Friday. And I usually film on Thursdays. And I filmed yesterday, and I filmed all about positive things. And I watched it back, and it feels as fake as it felt filming it. So that being said, I'm giving you the whole kit and caboodle today. What I mean by that is, it's not the best day. And that's okay. I feel meh. And I didn't want to celebrate and use the word joy today. I mean, yes, I have joys in my life. I have a baseline of happiness that is always there, that I carry with me, and that doesn't go anywhere. That being said, I wanted to show you that it's okay to feel not okay for a little bit, for a couple days. To feel like it is just an okay day. You don't know how you feel. And I thought, what better way to show how I get myself out of the doldrums, so to speak, was to give you some little tips that have worked for me in the past, and hopefully by the end of this episode, maybe we'll feel a little bit better. So the first thing I do when I feel like crap is, of course, I take care of my animals, and I hug and I kiss them, and they usually give me some positivity. But sometimes I don't want to bring them my stress and my negativity. I don't want to put that on them. That's a lot for a little animal to handle when they have nowhere to bring it sometimes. So I didn't want to bring that to them today. So there are a couple other tricks that I've used in the past, and one of them is movies. I like watching old movies, especially funny ones. So I will take any recommendations in the comment section below. If you can come up with any movies, any genre really, but I'm really into like the 40s and the 50s, 60s, somewhere in there. I have watched a bunch. I'm looking for a little bit more of a mental laughter today, as opposed to the slapstick physical comedy that you see. Yes, that makes me chuckle, but sometimes I need to tickle the brain a little bit. So some mental laughter, if that makes any sense to you. Even right now, I couldn't give you a movie that would do that for me offhand. Maybe I'll get back to you by the end of the episode. So I like to think of that kind of thing. Things that have brought me down a little bit are, my fibro causes me to have pain, so I don't sleep very well sometimes. So the sleep last night wasn't the greatest. I am having jaw issues. I don't know if the jaw issues started with the fibro or... no, I could say they actually have been around for quite a while. So I don't know if the fibro stemmed from the jaw issues, whatever the case may be. I put myself on soft food diets every once in a while, but I can have popcorn. So that's why I mentioned the movies. So feel free to send those to me, and we can all have good chuckle. The next thing that I find that brings me out of the doldrums is just doing something productive. So that is why I'm on here today, is to try and be productive. And to tell you, I do promise to put out a new episode every Friday. And I wasn't about to put out one that I didn't feel portrayed me, as the real person I try to portray myself as every week when I put one out. And so please know that all those other episodes are truly me in a positive form every week. Even if I've recorded 100 million times, the positivity level throughout pretty much stays level. And so therefore I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that for you. And so I wanted to kind of work through those things with you on camera. So the next thing I like to do to kind of trigger my mental happiness is puzzles, because they are good for your brain. They're just a good mental exercise to keep you thinking and processing and just moving forward even when you don't feel like it. So I find puzzles very challenging. Sometimes they frustrate me because puzzle shapes end up looking the same, feeling the same, and fitting the same as other puzzle pieces. And when you are trying to mentally process and figure out how things fit together, and having two pieces that look similar and feel similar fit into similar spaces, makes you work your brain a little bit harder to figure out what the issue is before you email the puzzle company to say, hey, you sent me the wrong puzzle piece. How dare you? When we know gosh darn well that is probably not the case, and that you're not thinking it through, and that we all just need to slow our roll and stop and think and go, okay, there is other ways to look at this, right? There is. So I stand up and I hover over the puzzle and I look at it from above, and it does give you a different perspective. It does make you understand that you can see that it doesn't quite fit from up in the air, as opposed to sitting down and looking at the puzzle from that direction. It does change the overall view, and you can see that piece that you've been trying to fit into the bright space isn't going to fit as long as that other puzzle piece is there blocking its way. So I feel like as long as that negativity is in there blocking your way, that positive thought just can't possibly fit in there. So I hope that helps you work out like a little bit of the mental thought process. But I also find that hot baths are great during this time when you're not feeling up to doing a lot. Soaking and closing the eyes and meditating is really a good way to bring yourself around to the positive side of life. I'm sorry, my little bunny's over here entertaining me from the top floor. You're so awesome. Anyway, hot baths are great, but I also find that they help me to meditate and take my brain out of the equation. So first we're working it mentally into, right? We're trying to make our brain think positive thoughts. But sometimes in order to eliminate the bad, or evacuate the bad thoughts, sometimes we have to meditate out of the situation. And I'm learning some tricks of the trade, but I find hot baths where I can focus on little things at a time and snap myself out of them right away help. But I also found for the last couple of days, the snow kind of mentally takes me out of the equation. Excuse me. Excuse me. For the last couple of days, I've noticed the snow falling in kind of a snow globe effect, right? How you shake it upside down and that big clump of glitter falls, and then you have those last few flakes. They just kind of meander their way down, slowly, just taking their time. And maybe it's because they know that once they reach the ground, they just become part of the rest of the group, and they're trying to keep themselves as individual as possible, knowing that each snowflake pretty much has its own fingerprint, and maybe it doesn't want to become part of a big group. That's what I think about. This is how I meditate. So in the big picture, right, I take that flake and I almost probably choke it to death, making sure that I keep it as much in its own light as possible. I don't want it to fall fast. I don't want it to become part of the rest of the group. I want it to be its own individual person, so to speak. I realize it's a snowflake, but this makes sense in my mind. This is true of how I think about watching sports. I don't watch sports like a normal human being, I don't think. I like to think about the bigger picture, what those athletes have to do to get ready for the big day, the science behind all of it. And I think that's why I want a more mentally challenging movie to watch, but something more comedic, because I need to have that bit of laughter. But like I said, I needed to tickle my mental funny bone. And these are all things that I'm trying to do to turn my doldrums around. Even talking through this with you right now has helped me so much. And this little stinker over here off to the side has helped a lot. And as you can see, it is turning my day around just as I'm sitting here. Sunshine always helps. We always need that hitting our faces. Granted, it's been with the wind chill in the negatives. But even if you can get outside for a quick, brief flash of sun on your face, or even if you can get it through a window, just sit in the window and feel the warmth from the sun, sometimes is just the best medicine. And it does envelope you. You know, you kind of feel that warmth like all the way around. And I know it's silly because I'm going back to that whole snowflake effect, and I'm holding that snowflake up out of the rest of the snow to get the warmth on its face, so to speak, knowing full well it will melt maybe before it gets to the rest. Maybe that's what I think, is if I keep it up long enough, it will be able to stay individual forever, but not knowing really that it's going to fall and melt or be melted eventually. I don't know. I hope this is a different perspective on how you visualize things sometimes. The mental pictures you can play with your mind can be positive, and they can bring you to negative places, and we don't want to go there. We don't want to have negative thoughts. For the most part, we want to be happy, joyous people. Let's face it, does anybody want to live in the negative? Nobody wants to be down. I don't know anybody that wants to be depressed or unhappy or sad or whatever, including me. It's not productive. I don't find it, I find it interrupts me, for the most part, I guess. I was going to say interrupts my day, interrupts my processes, but it just interrupts me. And I don't like that. I like being productive. That is what makes me happy. I have to keep moving towards my goal, and being on YouTube is one of my goals. So I have to keep moving forward. I made a promise to be on Fridays, and I want to be on Fridays. So I wanted you to see how the sausage is made, I guess. Like I said, I don't know how else to put it. It isn't always pretty. life in this body, in this brain, in this mindset is, like I said, a hot mess. And maybe it doesn't need to be broadcast for everybody to see, but I think it helps people work through it. I hope people see me physically working through this whole process right on screen with you. I'm physically now feeling a little bit more like I can accomplish something positive today, even if I'm feeling negative. And this was it. I can't be negative for the rest of the day. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm really looking forward to that movie and sucking on some popcorn, believe it or not. Even though I have jaw issues, I can still suck on popcorn while watching a movie. I don't know. I just think we can work through it together. And I think that's what's so powerful at the same time. I think we can be individuals and still work as a team. So I guess that's why I like to hold individuals up, but still have that support. We can all just work together to turn this around and make it a happy, positive day. I know that doesn't always happen as quickly as you see it on screen. And let's face it, this is probably episode, I don't know. I've filmed this episode several times, thinking that I didn't want fakeness out there. I didn't want to portray myself as happy if I wasn't. And I don't think people should have to do that in order to be out there and be productive. I think you can be productive and have just a bad day. It really is possible to just work through it as you go along. And it does take snippets of positivity here and there to get you through it. I get it. Like I said, I have an ultimate goal. So I'm not stopping just because something in here was trying to work its way in or make itself fit into the positivity chain that I wanted to have going. So just know, like I said, all those other episodes that I've done before are positive because I was literally in a positive frame of mind and would not put out anything less than that if that is not what I felt. And I felt that you should know that you can work through these things just as easily, or trust me, this is a days. We're talking days of processes here. This is not just me working it out on one episode. But knowing that at the beginning I was really kind of lower than I am now. So I am feeling myself inch myself out of the hole, little bits at a time. And I think that's what I wanted to show you all today. That we can't all be happy-go-lucky all the time. But it truly is okay. Because there is another minute and another hour and another day to take that little bit of negativity and just work it out of your brain. Don't try and get rid of it altogether, because it doesn't work. But taking a little baby steps to be productive and to be, I don't know, almost creating productivity where there wasn't any for the day. And maybe now I'm on a more positive upswing thanks to you guys. And I'm hoping that I do the same for you guys in return. I guess that's really that's really it in a nutshell. Is that I think we can all work it out together. And I hope that you do. You put the movies down below, you put why you're sad down below, put why you're angry, put why you're frustrated. I mean, I've listed all my anger and frustration, right? You should always be able to reciprocate. Know that I will always listen in return. I want to help you out through this stuff. Exercise, meditation, all those things that I've talked about on previous episodes are all ways to make your life a little better. And it might not be the best blessed day, but maybe it's a little better blessed day. I think it is. And I hope I can do that for you. I think that's really all I have to say today. I want to thank you all for watching. Please continue to watch. Please pass them on to people you know they can help. Even if you know it's an episode that's not going to help you per se, maybe you know somebody that really needed to hear this today. So pass them on to those people. Please continue to comment, share, like, subscribe, ring the bell. And I really, truly thank you all for your support. And as always, have a good day. Go do great things. Be your best self. And please live your best, blessed life. Thanks for watching.